What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to show you 3 different breathing exercises from beginner to intermediate to advanced. And it's going to help you get from point A to point B with your singing. My name is Lesage Singing. I have a degree in voice. I've been singing for 14 years. I've sung with the Philadelphia Orchestra. And I'm just letting you know, I'm here to help you out. So let's jump right into it. First exercise is a classic. It is called the lip trill. It is something that every teacher should have in their arsenal, particularly for their beginning students. But just because it's particularly good for beginning students doesn't mean that this isn't an awesome exercise for whenever you're having trouble with a phrase. Okay, so the lip trill is pretty simple in concept, but it's pretty difficult to master. Take a phrase from a piece of music that you're working on. If you have scale exercises, if you have arpeggio exercises, those are also great. First things first, how to do it. Put your lips together and blow out air. And you'll make a lip fart sound. We call it a lip trill. You can call it a lip fart. That's fine too. What'll be important to remember is that the consistency in which you are able to maintain this denotes how well you are doing with the exercise and with your singing in general. So let's have an example. So right here, I'm going to have a 7th chord. It's a minor 7th chord. And I'm actually going to be going through pretty much all of my major registers, right? We have my lower, more middle, area, sort of the transition into this area. Okay, I'm a tenor, by the way, so if that matters to you. And then I kind of have my entry to the top, the passage, the passaggio. Okay, so we're just going to do that on a lip trill. 1, 2, da. And now the octave up. So you might think, oh, that sounds pretty simple. I'm going to give that a try. That level of consistency took me like 2 years of just getting spittle everywhere, because you're going to get spittle everywhere. So practice it when you're on the toilet. Practice it when you are probably not in public, because people are going to think you're crazy, because a good vocal exercise is almost always completely deranged. Speaking of spittle and deranged, we have our second exercise. This one's particularly good if once you feel pretty good about your breath, your vowels are giving you a little bit of problems. One of the main issues that people have once their breath is good is that their tongue goes a little far back, and that is not good ergonomic singing. I won't bore you with the details and the anatomy of it, but you don't want to see this in your singing, okay? You don't want to see that tongue really far back. You might think that it's getting you a bigger, warmer sound, but it's not. All that is doing is muffling your sound, okay? And so if that's one of your problems, this exercise is going to really help you keep the tongue forward and also work on your breath at the same time. It's a really good 2 birds with 1 stone exercise that I still use. It has an added bonus of helping you with tongue tension, which is usually the problem with vowels if your breath is good. There are certainly more options of problems out there, but this can still help a lot. So, the exercise itself. You're going to stick your tongue out. Make sure the tongue is wide. Okay, you want to be able to feel your tongue on the back molars here. You don't want it to be as straight and as out as possible. You want it to be wide. Think of the A vowel. Cool? Cool. Next, sort of like you would do with the lip trill, put your lips on it, and you're just going to do a fart sound. By the way, be prepared for a lot of spittle, and I mean a lot of spittle. We're going to take the same A minor 7th chord. Whew, all right. That can help get a lot of tension, particularly when you're transitioning into your top. That can get it out of the picture. It's a really, really helpful exercise. Again, it's not going to solve all your problems, but it's a great warm-up to make sure that you're eliminating tongue tension and a lot of the things that are going to get in the way of your breath. Definitely don't do this exercise on the ground laying down or in the wind. Third exercise. This one I really, really only recommend for people that are very familiar with the fundamentals of breathing. This is a coffee stirrer. They are tiny. This is not a regular straw. You can start this, and I actually really do recommend that you start it with a regular straw. This is kind of the ultimate challenge to see if your breath is going well, and it's going to really help you with your high notes a lot. Because the trick with high notes, they take less air. Oftentimes, vacuous words like support get thrown around, but it's really hard to understand what that means until you actually know what it means, and therefore, as a teaching tool, the word support, I'm not a fan, but hey, if it helps you, whatever. Point is, breath, air. You're going to need to know how to have a lot less of it when you transition into the top. So we're going to take that minor A7th chord, and we're going to actually make it a triad, minor triad, and we're going to put that A on top. And that, for me, is the beginning of my top, which is usually a problem. Now, because it's a problem, I have this exercise. I'm going to wrap my lips around it. And real quick, I'm going to notice that there's tension in my chest, and the objective here is to make this as easy as possible. You can force this. Don't. Find the way to make it easy. Because if you're going to sing for an hour, 2 hours, however long or however many days in a row that you're going to be singing, you're going to need it to be easy. So, find the ease. Do not rely on tension to do this. My wife in the background. Now, before I even start, I'm going to check myself, okay? We're going to go right here on this note, and I'm going to do a couple things. Okay, so why did I just pinch my nose? So aside from every vocal exercise that's valuable being utterly ridiculous, there is a point of why I just closed my nose. One of the things that can happen when you have too much air is that your soft palate, which is ordinarily up, that's a different video entirely, but usually most singers have their soft palate either in the middle of the range or it's up all the way. And if you pinch your nose and inside your head the sound changes, it means your soft palate is down. Try to do this with your soft palate up. Another video is going to come on the palate and what it is, how to do it. If you don't know what it is, don't worry about it. But if you're going to implement this exercise, you probably already know what it is. Anyway, let's get right into it. Cool. Now, a triad is not usually useful in and of itself. They're great exercises. They help you connect the registers, but the point of singing is to make music. So I'm going to take a musical passage, and we're going to see how I can implement this exercise, even as someone who has a degree, even as someone who has been doing this for many, many years. I still have to practice. So I'm going to give you some context on not just how to use this exercise, but how to use any of the other 3 exercises. So one of the more challenging phrases that I'm working on right now is this one from Mozart's Un'aura Amorosa. The piece was ultimately supposed to be really, really smooth, and it was actually written with a lower tuning in mind, which Mozart took into particular care, but with the tuning of A natural having gone up since that piece is written, it's notoriously a challenging phrase to make elegant. Can I hit the notes? Yes. Can I make them elegant, though? I can. I can do that by using the breath exercises we just covered. So I'm going to go over that phrase with every single exercise that we've covered so far. Taking my time to figure it out, feel how my body is responding. Is it easy? Am I on the pitch? Can I make it easier, right? Feels pretty comfortable to me. Let's move on. One of the major things that can happen on a high note is that the tongue goes back, and it can't go back on a high note, at least for me. Some people I've seen be able to do it, still not a good sound, nor is it good technique. It's not optimal. So, to do that phrase with my tongue forward, I'm going to be doing our second exercise. Already, I can see my tongue going back a little bit. Already, the breath is getting a little tight in the chest. I haven't warmed up. This is a great warm-up exercise. And my camera and everything in front of me is covered with spittle. And that's how I know I did it right. That's not really how. All right. So that's fine. That's good. Let's try the ultimate test. Okay? Now, again, not for beginners. If you really want to try this, I highly recommend you get a straw that is thicker than this. This is kind of the extreme. So anyway. Already way different. The other exercises, what I just did was fine. But for this one, I'm really feeling like it's too much air. I got to calm down, take less of an inhale, and relax a little bit. Okay, now let's actually try and sing it. It probably won't be perfect. Again, I'm not warmed up, but I'm thinking about where my body is, and I'm using experiments like our exercises to confirm that I actually do feel good and that things are working out so that I can go out and sing to my fullest ability. All right, let's check out this phrase. Al corpo leggero. Okay, a little disconnected at the top, but I'll show you how I work with registers that don't sound smooth in their transition in another video series. So look forward to the soft palette video series and look forward to the transitions and making your voice sound like an even scale from top to bottom. That's going to be a different video series. In the meantime, the breath is the key. It's the fundamental of singing. Number one fundamental. If you can get a hold of your breath and make it easy to be consistent in breath pressure throughout the exercises and be so fine-tuned that you can take a coffee stir and sing through that, you're going to go and see a lot of improvement. These are exercises I wish I took more seriously when I was starting out, particularly the tongue one was massive for me. All right, the guy who showed me that is on the Met Wall of Fame, and he uses that. It's a great exercise. Don't rush to this. This is really for when you're ready to work specifically on your top. Do everything it takes before that, because I still use it. And a lot of people I know who are very successful singers still use the lip trill, the tongue trill, so and then finally having the straw as the access to the top. Okay? See you next time.